Hey guys, Sneaky Snake here, Brothers in Arms, World of Warships, and today's video is the next installment in our Teamwork series, which sees myself, Megadude2, and 901234 playing some domination here on the map Trap. I'm sailing in the Sims, the Tier 7 Premium American Destroyer. My buddy Megadude is playing in the Indianapolis, the Tier 7 Premium American Heavy Cruiser, and bringing up the rear, 901 is playing in the Shores, the Tier 7 Soviet Light Cruiser. As always with the Teamwork series, we will be providing this bit of gameplay through the perspective of everybody in the division, so you get a 3-for-1 right here. So I really hope you guys enjoy this video. This is an absolute epic game that we had here on this map, and it's one that we do get down, and it's a back and forth affair against a very skilled triple division of OPG members on the other team. So they certainly have quite a bit of talent amongst them, and this one is going to be just, well, in my opinion, the best game that I played over the weekend. This wasn't anything ridiculous in terms of damage or anything like that, but just overall wonderful gameplay that you guys are about to see here. So sit back, relax, and please enjoy. So at the beginning of the game, we decided we were going to make a push for Objective Alpha. Now, thinking about how this map deploys, generally speaking, from both spawns, what happens is that both teams will try to make a push for the Bravo objective. You can see there in grid F5, it's been there for quite some time. There is an island that is able to shield friendly and enemy ships that are able to make it into the cap. And I'm the only destroyer on my team, while the enemy team does have two of them. So it's very imperative that I stay alive throughout this game, and I do not need to throw myself into any bad situations. My friends and a couple other friendly ships are going to be coming down here to help me, but I had a feeling at the beginning of this game that the enemy team would send a significant portion of their fleet, including maybe one or two of the OPG guys down here to try and contest this cap. Since they have the 2-to-1 destroyer advantage, it would be very beneficial for them to send their destroyers to B and C. So we'll see what happens in that regard. But if we run into any substantial enemy effort down here at Alpha, I told my guys, hey, we're going to try to get this cap. If we're not able to, then we're going to swing up north and try to help out the guys that are at B and C. So I decided to start deploying my smoke screen as I go into the cap, and I accidentally derp really hard right here as I shoot my entire main battery, but nonetheless the enemy farragut does get detected, one of the two enemy destroyers. I slow down, pop my defensive AA, start shooting some planes down. I'm also getting some shots there into that Tier 6 American destroyer. Switching over to 901's perspective, my buddy Megadude was able to get his radar up. The recently buffed Indianapolis radar has a range of 9.9 kilometers. Now, I don't know the exact duration. I think it's about 30 seconds, but nonetheless, it makes this farragut's position completely untenable. And the second salvo that goes downrange from 901 manages to take care of that American destroyer as we pick up our first kill of the game for our team. So very good stuff. And as he shoots a salvo there at the Alba, who went behind the island undetected, we're now going to switch over here to Megadude. So with the Indianapolis, besides the radar that it recently buffed, it also has a pretty decent AA suite, and of course it comes equipped with 8-inch or 203mm main guns. So he's able to get some pretty hefty damage if he's able to find the broadside on anything that he will be shooting at. You can see there, one of the enemy players, never forgotten, taking his Atlanta into the middle of Bravo. It was a play that I anticipated, a play that we anticipated, and certainly a very strong play for them to make. You can also see here, as I'm still trying to get the cap, my buddy Megadude did pop his defensive fire, and you can quickly see 4 enemy planes have been swatted out of the sky, make that 5. And he's still trying to get some shots here at Forgotten. And one thing that must be mentioned, since he is sitting in the smoke screen, of course, he does not get detected every time he shoots, so he's able to get free damage at that guy, which is very, very important, because the Atlanta in the right hands is very terrifying. There we go. 6 hits for 8k damage as he manages to shoot down 2 more planes to up his total to 9. He continues to shoot downrange at that guy, so very awesome stuff right there. And we're also about ready to capture Objective Alpha. Now, it is very, very important why we were able to, right now, capture that objective, and you'll see why later in the gameplay. So we're getting a consistent source of points, 3 of them about every 5 seconds, which is very, very important. Now you can see that my smoke screen is finally starting to dissipate with 1544 left in the game. But at this point, I realized that, as you can see on the minimap, there's a very significant portion of the enemy team that is over here. And indeed, one of them is Desperado, another extremely talented World of Warships player in his Gneisenau. So, yeah, at this point, there's no reason for us to stay down here at Alpha and try to duke it out with these enemy ships, because you can see that they are all focus firing on that friendly Bismarck, who is taking a very copious amount of damage. And again, there's no reason for us to get into a slugfest here, because you can also see up at the top portion of the map by B B, and C, our team does need us to make a tactical withdrawal and get up there to help them out. So you can already see that I have started making my way up towards Objective Bravo, and Mega here is getting some shots downrange at Desperado once more. So again, we're trying to get back to Objective Bravo here. It's 14:54 left in the game. I'm trying to call target there on the Atlanta. He has to die because that position that he has over there next to the island is actually a very strong position. Granted, he has lost the majority, about 2/3 of his hit points, but since the Atlanta has the very terrible shell arcs, well, I guess terrible, it's not necessarily, because on the benefit, you know, you can shoot over islands with relative impunity where other ships will not be able to get back at you. But it's just overall, it's a very good spot right there where you can take advantage of the, quote, terrible shell arcs to be able to rain damage. You can already see that one of our battleships that is in Bravo, the Gneisenau up there, is down to about 1/4 of his hit points, so he has certainly been feeling the pain. We're going to switch back here to Megadude's perspective. The enemy team is about 2/3 of the way done capping Objective Alpha, but he is going to be able to get some shots now at the enemy Le Galissonière, the Tier 6 French cruiser. And there we go, getting a couple base defense resets right there. Very good stuff. He's taking some fire from some of the other enemy ships that are over there, but he's getting ready for another broadside. There we go, against that French light cruiser. So will he be able to snag the kill here? Ugh, just a little bit short. Only does 460 damage right there, but he does get yet another base reset, which is very, very important. The score is 322 to 335 as he shoots down his 13th plane already. Now he's trying to swing yet again for his shells to potentially get in there and secure the kill. He looks back towards the Galissonière, and there we go. He gets the Citadel that he desperately needs and picks up his first kill of the game. He's up to 33,000 points of damage. At the same time, with 13:21 left in the game, I have already made my way into Objective Bravo, and now I'm going to lay some smoke here for my buddies that are getting ready to enter the cap, and also the HSF Graf Spee, which is over here just off my port side. So it's important that I'm laying the smoke screen because you can see that we are detected by enemy aircraft. The carrier on the other team is, of course, no joke, and he has had the majority of his squadrons now over the Bravo cap to help his buddy out in the Atlanta. So I'm going to slow down here with 6 seconds left on the smoke, and I'm going to get some shots downrange at the enemy Scharnhorst. So it's important that we are able to take care of this guy. He still has 2/3 of his hit points, and you really don't want to let a Scharnhorst kind of roaming around on the flank with a lot of health because, of course, that ship has a very good reload, and the guns are still pretty potent. But now I'm going to switch over here to 901's perspective. He has also made his way into my smoke screen, and now we are getting some very good coordinated fire against that guy. And you can see also the Graf Spee on our team is getting some shots at him as well. And this is where the shores in this kind of situation is absolutely brutal because, again, you get the same firepower that you have on very powerful Tier 8 cruisers like the Chapayev and the Mikhail Kutuzov. However, this is at Tier 7, so it's absolutely ridiculous the amount of damage that you're able to do with this thing if left uncontested. And you can see he continues to light fires on the Scharnhorst and is getting some very good high explosive damage in there as well. So right as he gets in next towards the island, I am getting ready to move out of the smoke because there was an enemy Leningrad around here somewhere, and there we go. Right as I move out, in Minsk, pardon me about that. I'm getting some shots here now at that guy. You can see the rate of fire on my guns much, much better than his, and also I'm able to outturn his turrets to a degree as well. And also my buddy 901 is getting some shots with his 4 guns in there, getting more shells down at that guy. He's only got about 3,000 hit points. There we go. 901 chunks him down, and then I'm able to secure my first kill of the game. So very nice teamwork right there as he pushed out of the smoke to help me secure that kill. With 11:25 left here in the game, Megadude at this same moment was now getting ready to head around the corner of the island because we needed to push this guy out of position. I also managed to secure the kill on the enemy Scharnhorst, myself and 901 setting those really good fires on that guy. So he kicked the bucket as well. Makes the score 277 to 272. However, we are contesting Objective Bravo while Objective Charlie has not been capped. Right through the butt for 5,300 points of damage. Very nice salvo right there. And for some reason, instead of shooting his main battery, the Graf Spee decides to launch his torpedoes. And it gives, never forgotten right there, enough time to be able to land 3 torpedo hits into the side of that guy. So in all honesty, that was a very bad play. He should have, I'm assuming he was reloaded, he should have used that time to be able to shoot him with the guns because he ate so much unnecessary damage, and now it puts us in a little bit more of a predicament. However, Megadude right here is now swung his 2 front turrets into play against the enemy Alba. Unfortunately, he aimed just a little bit too far behind the guy, so he does not register any hits. And you can also see there's a bit of a circus going on right here. All the cruisers are just trying to get to their own way, to their own position, and running into each other is kind of funny. But you can also see here that the enemy Gneisenau is pushing into the cap. We're switching over to 901's perspective right now. There's 6 seconds left until we're able to secure objective Bravo. The timer does go down a little bit, but it's very important that we're able to get this cap for our team. Unfortunately, the Atlanta's flooding does manage to take out the Graf Spee, and the Gneisenau kills the New Mexico. So now we are in a 5 versus 5 situation, which is not looking too good. It's 202 to 342. You can see 901 here is getting some more shots at this guy, and they're just trying to burn him down as he does manage to get the cap there on objective Bravo. So now we're getting a steady point income, at least for a little bit right here, before that Gneisenau manages to move onto the cap. But if you didn't notice in the last couple of minutes, you can see what was last spotted at Gulf 7, the enemy aircraft carrier. And I have been booking my way to get around that island to be able to take care of that guy, which will drastically help the team. We're now switching to my perspective here. You can also see that an enemy Nuremberg is AFK in the enemy team's base. So a very good stroke of luck right there. Now I'm getting some shots down here at the enemy carrier. He has been a big thorn in our side throughout the majority of the game. You can also see some enemy torpedo bombers are on the way, so that's why I do pop my defensive fire to shoot down my 4th plane of the game. And at this point, there's no way the carrier is going to be able to get away. He's not too far away from me, and of course the Sims is able to keep up with this guy and slightly outpace him. Continue to shoot more planes down, make that number 5 and 6, so that's very good. So at this point, all I have to do is start registering some fires on this guy, force his damage control, and then get some more fires on him, and he will be doomed. Now, I'm also keeping my eye over there on the Nuremberg, and that is why after every salvo, I look over just to make sure that he is still AFK. Again, it's very lucky that that guy was right there in that position and not potentially harassing our friends that are down there in objective Bravo. They are having a hard time, and Desperado continued his push in there. And unfortunately, around this moment, Megadude was losing quite a bit of his hit points. American heavy cruisers have very poor stern armor, all the way up to and including the Des Moines at tier 10. So you can take some citadels and massive penetrating damage through the butt. Now, really quickly here, a little bit of bug here in World of Warships. I launched my first set at the Nuremberg that is sitting still, and I put my second set exactly on the same spot. And you can see how far to the left those torpedoes drop. So I have absolutely no idea what that crap is all about, but it's something that they really do need to fix. Luckily for me, the dive bombers did not manage to register a hit on me, and there we go. I get that fire which I needed after he burned his damage control, as Megadude's fire does manage to take care of the Gneisenau, and I also land a torpedo there on the AFK Nuremberg, so he is going to continue to flood. The score is 257 to 363. I'm up to about 70,000 points of damage, and my friends were doing some nice work down there. You can see that the Alba does take care of our friend in the Warspite, so now we're in a 4 versus 4 situation. However, we will be getting these 2 kills here on the Hiryu and the Nuremberg relatively quickly, and you can also see that 901 has made his way onto objective Charlie. So at this point, with 7:08 left in the game, it is very important that we're now going to be able to get the 2-1 cap lead, and assuming that we get these kills here really quickly, we are going to be able to get this game back in our favor. So I stopped shooting at the Hiryu as he does get taken care of by one of the high explosive shells, and now I'm switching to the armor piercing here on the Nuremberg, and you can see a nice 2K salvo. And as my next one lands, puts him on minimal amounts of hit points, and I take care of that tier 6 German light cruiser, bringing the score back to 307 to 318 now, and now my friends are about 3/4 of the way taking care of objective Charlie, so very good stuff. We're now going to switch back to 901's perspective right here. He's looking for some very long-range shots at the enemy New Mexico. The Shores has a range of, I think it's around 17 kilometers or so. And he does run the spotting aircraft on this thing, which is something that I honestly do recommend, because you can push the range out to about 20 kilometers, which sounds a little ridiculous for a cruiser. But because these things have such good shell ballistics, you can't afford to get away with it. You can also see Megadude got chunked down all the way to about 1,000 hit points, so he is certainly not in a very good situation. So he's going to have to be very, very careful as the enemy team does get on objective Bravo. Now, the problem here is that they were able to get on the objective a lot quicker than I anticipated. So at this point, as it's 340 to 348, we're never going to be able to catch up to them from a cap-wise, because they have A, we have C, so that's nullifying it out. But then, of course, since objective Bravo is contested, we are not going to be getting those 3 extra points every about 5 seconds. So we still have to get a kill here. And there's only 5 minutes and 37 seconds left in the game. You can see here 901 is getting some very nice shots over the island, getting some cap resets, which is very, very important, as he sets a nice, another 2 right there, and he sets a fire on that guy, so he is going to be burning for some time. Now, 901 is also putting himself in a very good position as well. Mega is moving off towards the island that's over around Echo 6, I believe. And now 901 is going to put himself in a position right here around Foxtrot 7. And he's going to put himself right next to the edge of this island where when I get in there, whether it's the Ranger with his fighter planes who is still alive and managed to do a very good job in this game, or myself who is moving off in front of him to get into the cap, whoever is going to be able to spot like that Alba that just gets detected right there by myself, he's going to be able to shoot over the island, assuming he's not too close to the enemy spotter planes that may be about, without being detected, which is very important. We're now switching back to my perspective. My damage total has ballooned up to 96,000, and I got 4 kills. So a very, very good performance here in The Sims. And of course, my teammates have also been doing exceptional as well. But again, I would like to point out that Ranger, if you're watching this video, you did a fantastic job, because a Ranger versus a Hiryu is quite honestly a pretty laughable engagement if the Hiryu knows anything what he's doing. And certainly the Hiryu on this team did, at least at the beginning of the game. There's not that much that a Ranger can do, but I was pinging the map, and I wanted him to bring his remaining aircraft down here to continue to spot the New Mexico and the Alba, so we're going to be able to get shots into them. Unfortunately, his planes are not down here, so I am going to have to go out and keep this New Mexico hard spotted. It is burning, and this will, again, allow my buddies in the Indy and the Shores to continue to get shots in on that guy. And you can see here, this is indeed the power of teamwork. Very, very good stuff right there. The score is 415 to 435. There's only 349 left in the game as I cracked just over 100,000 points of damage here so far. I also managed to shoot down that enemy spotter plane. Very, very important for my buddies back there, because now, once again, if they're behind the island more than halfway, they're going to be able to shoot without getting detected. The New Mexico continues the burn, and you can see more shells coming in from the Shores and the Indianapolis. Very nice stuff right there. However, the Alba does get detected. We're now switching over here to Megadude's perspective. He set a double fire on New Mexico, who immediately had to put it out. Now he's getting some broadside shots here with the armor piercing. An American AP, even at long range, has amazing penetration. There we go. A very nice Citadel. 6,000 points of damage right there, with also another penetrating strike. Unfortunately, though, for Megadude, a little bit right here, he's going to try to stick himself out behind, around the island to continue to get more shots here at this New Mexico, which you can see right here. He does have the high explosive loaded, and now he switched his attention back to the Alba. Unfortunately, he went out just a little bit too far, only by inches, I would suppose, and he does get detected here for a split second. So he is going to try to back up to get back into cover as his shells come in flying right there and manages to get some more hits. You can see that the Alba continues to burn. Now we're switching back to 901's perspective right here. He was also focus firing on this guy as well. Manages to hit him. Megadude's fire does take the guy out, but unfortunately, the Alba was able to shoot. So once again, even though we got the kill, the enemy team still has the same points lead with 222 left, because Megadude kicked the bucket on his 3rd kill. So very unfortunate right there. Trying to manage the throttle and just edged out just a little bit too much. So at this point, this New Mexico has to die. And now you can see here 901 is backing up. He is able to get his rear turrets over the island. Now we're going to see if he's going to be able to get his entire broadside. But he does need to get some fires back here on this New Mexico to burn this guy down. He's at about 21,000 hit points, and there's 155 left in the game now, so we're getting down to crunch time, and we do need to get this kill. Luckily for us, he is able to get some fires here, and this is, again, the power of the Shores. He's at 85,000 points of damage, which is a very nice number for this ship. And there we go. He sets fire number 2. So at this point, that enemy New Mexico is going to have to pop his damage control at some point, unless he wants to burn out right here outright. More shells flying in there. Now going to switch back to my perspective. I do have to keep this guy detected because, again, there's not enough friendly aircraft close enough to be able to spot that guy. So I'm going to put myself in harm's way. You can see his rear turrets, the shells coming in. I do take a couple of hits. Luckily for us, it's only overpens. We got 115 left in the game. The New Mexico's at about 14,000 hit points here. He still hasn't used his damage control. He's trying to bleed it out as much as possible. Don't know if he has a heal left anyway, and there we go. He does use his damage control. So he's going to have about 20 seconds from this point where he cannot get lit on fire. And we only got a minute left in the game as I do pick up the Confederates, so I just got to continue shooting the guns at the cyclic rate. Luckily for me, again, my buddy 901 back there is continuing to shoot downrange at this guy, and we should be able to take care of the kill. There's 47 seconds left. You can see his rear turret shooting at me yet again. I do take a little bit more damage, probably 1 penetration amongst the shells that hit, but 901 was able to get a fire on the bow, and all we need is another fire, and it will be doom. There we go. We get it. 35 seconds left in the game, and we are going to be able to take care of the victory as I pick up the Kraken here on the map hotspot. Alrighty guys, taking a look now at the post-battle results. 1,082,000 credits received. I was running a few of those flags. 7,500 total XP earned. I got Confederate and Kraken Unleashed with 117,000 points of damage dealt to the enemy team off of 292 shell hits and 1 torpedo hit. I managed to secure 9 planes shot down, 5 enemy ships, 1 solo base cap, and 1 assisted base capture. Taking a look at the team score, 3,266 base EXP. An absolute monster of a game. You can see Mega Dude coming in second place with 3 kills, 29 planes shot down, and 2,604 base EXP. And then 901 coming in third with 2,445 base EXP with a kill of his own and 2 enemy planes taken care of. So between the 3 of us, we had 9 kills. We had a total of 40 planes swatted out of the sky and well over 8,000 total base EXP. An absolute monster carry here on Hotspot. We're going to take a look now at Mega Dude's post-battle results. He did 78,000 points of damage. Again, 29 planes shot down and 3 kills. He also managed to secure 2 citadels, 3 base defense ribbons, and 2 assisted base captures. And also looking at 901's screen right here, 209,000 credits received, just under 4,000 total EXP. He also managed to secure a Confederate off of 105,000 points of damage, 298 shell hits. He started 13 fires, had 1 solo base cap, and 1 assisted base capture. So that was an absolute riot of a game, and it was wonderful to have a nice back and forth contest against a very good enemy team, and it ended up being a win in our favor. So if you guys enjoyed that replay, please consider giving the video a like, commenting on it, or possibly subscribing to the channel. All of that is very much appreciated. And with that being said, the Sneaky Snake here for Brothers in Arms, World of Warships signing off. Guys and gals, as always, have a great day.